Hey guys, Drew Burks here. It's day two of 5, and the 1-day funnel launch training. And so today, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to actually build or quote unquote hack your funnel. So yesterday, you learned how to identify a funnel and a map. You learned how to, or a funnel and an offer, excuse me. You learned how to map that funnel and offer, and you learned how to go through that funnel and identify all the pieces that you're going to need to actually execute that. And so today is the next day. We're going to talk about how to actually build it, right? And so put together just a quick little training here. This is going to be a combination of showing you a slide and then jumping over and showing you in real time how to do this. So first step is now to, inside your ClickFunnels account, is actually build the funnel shell. And all you need to do here is just select page types. And so when you go into your funnel, so I have 4 funnels, 4 pages here. And this is the funnel that we mapped out yesterday's training. So if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, go back and watch yesterday's training, okay? But once you've done that, this will be clear. Now, you might be asking yourself or thinking, well, wait a minute, Drew, there were 6 pages yesterday, and that is true. One of the pages was the membership, which is not here. That will be a different funnel. We'll talk about that later. And the other page, of course, was the actual ClickFunnels affiliate page. So that's not a page that you build or you control to. We link out to that. So these are the 4, plus the actual ClickFunnels page will be 5, and then the membership is 6. So that's where the whole funnel is, right? So one of the big things with ClickFunnels is they use page types, okay? So you see this second line here, it says opt-in, and here it says opt-in, here opt-in. That's the page type. This is important because within ClickFunnels, there are a few page types that can only be used for something specific. An example, you can only create an order form using the order form page type. You can only create an order confirmation using an order confirmation type. You can only create the webinar registration page using the webinar registration page. You can only create opt-ins using opt-ins, right? Now, there are some exceptions where you can kind of create a hybrid page, but just stick with me for this purpose. You want to just understand the basics of the page type. So in this case, the only thing I needed to do is collect a name and email on this very first page. Right here are the pages. So again, if I click here, I just need to collect my email. That's why it's an opt-in. On this page, there was no opt-in or any action I needed. I just want people to watch video and click to take the next, go to the next page. And then on this page, again, there was no real action needed, except for they need to click the button and go to the next page. And again, no real action here, except for click the link and go out to the affiliate page. So that is that. Very simple. You should be able to do this in a matter of minutes. Now, step 2 is you need to set up the page structure. This is based off of 3 primary elements, right? The section, the rows. Rows have columns, so it can be a 1-column row, a 2-column row, up to a 6-column row, I believe. And then you have the elements. The elements go inside the row or the column, and the elements are things like copy, right? Written word, images, photos, videos, countdown timers, etc., HTML code. That all goes inside the element. And so now that you've identified your funnel, you've mapped it out, you've built the structure, step 1. Step 2 is to set up the sections, rows, columns, and elements, and then add the copy. So what I'm going to do is show you, again, this was the first page. And so if I go in here, the very first step I did was I simply copied over what was there, right? I'm funnel hacking, design hacking, whatever you want to call it. I was basically creating a copy. Now, you may remember, and if you don't, I just want to make it crystal clear. This is not permission to or an encouragement to steal or copy anything, but the process needs to be, so that you learn this, for you to copy over everything, okay? We're not going to use it, but you need to copy it over. So that's what I've done. I've copied it over. Now, you can see with my logo, these are not the correct colors for my logo. And so we will switch that later. But what I want to do is green are sections. Remember, right over here, first thing to do is set up the sections. So I know here, I just needed 1 section for the main part, and then a second section for the footer. Inside this green section, the next thing are the blue rows. Here's a 1-column row. Here's a 1-column row. Here's a 1-column row. Here is a 3-column row, right? 1, 2, 3. And then a 1-column row and a 1-column row. Okay, so that was all I did is I first went in, I set up the sections, the rows, and now it's time to add the elements. So in here, the elements were copy or headline, 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 and then this was actually something that's called a checkbox headline. So let me give you an example. So when you click add element, you have all of these different elements over here that you can add. And if you add them, it just sticks whatever you've chosen into that element. And then if I wanted to edit it, I click the little settings, and I have all these little settings over here that I can change. But I don't want that here, so I'm just going to delete that. Okay, so you should be able to go through and complete this process for most pages. Like this page took about maybe 6 to 7 minutes to do. This page took about the same because, again, there was one section, 2 main sections, 3 main sections, and then you can see it was 1 column, 1 row, 1 column, 1 row, 1 row, 1 row, 1 row, 1 column. Everything was 1 column here, and I'll show you that in just a moment in the page editor. This page, now this page was a little more complex. This page probably took a good 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes maybe to set up. Okay, and then this one, this was really easy. This took, again, maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes, okay? But you had a 2-column row here, 1 column, the rest of the thing. Over here on this page, you had a bunch of sections and rows and columns, right? Like 3 columns here, 2 columns here. So this page took a while. So what I want to do now is I'll just kind of go back here. So once you've set up step 1, so I want to just kind of recap. So once you've set up step 1, you've set up the funnel shell and you have the page types. Step 2 was you went through page by page and you added the sections, the rows, columns, elements. Now, you add the copy and content of the placeholders. Here's what I mean by this. If you attempt, listen guys, if you attempt to set up the page structure or the shell and then the page types, and then you attempt to do them while you're adding your own content, unless you have all your copy already all mapped out and you really have a clear vision, it's going to create delays. So what you want to do is you want to get something done. It's important for entrepreneurs that we keep moving forward. So what you want to do is you just want to steal the copy, right? Copy it over. Again, I said steal. You're borrowing it. That's the better word. You're borrowing it as a placeholder. And you're going to see that in just a moment. So this is none of my copy. So I would never, ever, ever send any traffic to this or use this outside of anything but demonstration purposes. Okay, so now that I've done that, and I've made my point about that, that's why all the copy and content is over for placeholders. The next step is where you begin to customize the design, right? The look and feel. This is, I put part 2 here. I don't know why I did that. It's really part 1. You start to transform the funnel from someone else's to yourself. And so you do that by adding your branding, logo, and color. So what I want to do is really quick, just show you what I mean by this. So I'm going to open this page. And I'm sorry, quick. I'm actually going to jump over to, I think I already, so perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump into this page here. So I want to get some color codes that I already started to use. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump in here. And I'm going to look at this color code by clicking on the little gear settings. Background color is D7200F. and this is OC5. Okay. Okay, so I have my two colors for that. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to this page here. And as I'm doing that, I want to tell you that at the same time, I'm going to begin formatting my copy and the content using the font sizes and the colors. Now, the font sizes I copied over when I made the page, right? Because I was just copying it. The colors I'm going to now use because I'm matching my brand. And I'm going to do this through the fonts, the sections, the rows, the colors. And I want you to be sure to keep all pages consistent in colors and fonts. So you can see in this particular funnel that I hacked, they did not do that, right? They had like white and black and light blues. And then they went over to this page I haven't touched into white, grays, and blacks, and blues, and reds, and blacks. And so it felt to me like a disconnect here. So we want to fix that. So what I'm going to do is here is we're going to set this to the blue. We're going to go here. I'm going to set this to the blue there. We're going to click here, go over here to the border, click that. Not sure if I like gray. I'm not so sold on this, but let's leave that for the time being. What I want to do is I want to come over here, grab this little color picker, and I want to, okay, and that's definitely all black. All right, perfect. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't like a different shade. So now, just going to set all this to black. See if that's the same color here real quick, because I want this to be consistent. O5C. Okay, that's the same. Maybe just put this to 2. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look and see what this looks like. Here we go. So this is what it was. I refreshed the page. Okay, let me do this background color. Try this down here. Now sometimes when you're doing this is going to be something that's preference, right? Personal preference, and you're just going to want to play with this until it looks right. Okay, so that feels a little bit better to me. Okay, and I didn't want a full border, I want top only. Okay, now also I just want to take a little bit of space out of there. Okay, now if you see here, perfect. So I'm going to teach you a little trick. So if I go here, okay, you can notice that the footer, like it looks different across all the pages. So what I want to do is I'm going to go in here, put back in this page. There's a lot of in and out of these pages here. Excuse me. I'm going to click over this. Now you can save sections and rows. So I'm going to click on this green thing. I'm going to click save. And I'm just going to put OFA funnel footer gray. I'm going to save that. Okay, now hit save on the page. Go out of here. And we're just going to see if we like the logo better here or better here. I'm not sold on either one just yet. So in here though, what I need to do is now I need to make sure this page is consistent. Right, so if I look at them, what I may want to do real quick I may want to do that. So I'm going to click this green plus and I'm going to add my sections and I'm going to add this. Okay. And I'm going to just delete this one. Okay. Let me create some distance there. Come here and take out some of that space there. Click here. Take out some of that space. All right, good. Now, let me see if I can make this top thing a little smaller. And I'm going to go back here. I want to just see if I can get this first page dialed in perfectly. So let me go ahead and go back to here. Because I'm feeling, here's the thing, I'm not feeling a connect, right? When I go from here to here, I see the red. And so the red is great for attention, but it's also throwing me off a little bit. So let's see if we can just tie this in. All right, so we made that a little smaller. All right, so what we've done now, at least we have some red here. I'm still not 100% sold on that, but we have the structure in place. I have not changed the copy yet, but the look and feel is branded. We have the same footer. Now what we're going to do is, the next step will be for me to go through and start creating my own content, right? This is important, you guys. This is where I have to go through here, and I'm not going to record this whole thing on video, is I need to go through and change all the words, right? Now, I don't mean every word, but I got to change it so that it's mine, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be offering the exact same thing, especially when I get to, right, this page, right? I'm not going to be offering all these same things. So that's going to take some time, so I'm not going to do that through a video, but this is how you get it. You know, how you go through this part. So again, you build out your funnel shell, the page types. You then set the page structure, the sections, rows, columns, elements. You add all the existing copy and images, placeholders, and everything that you're moving over. Then you go through and you start transforming it using your colors and your branding and your logo. And then when you do it, you start to go through and change the copy, set the font sizes and colors, section rows and colors. So that's what I was doing, making all the headers, footers, and font types all the same, right? So you saw me do that on the first 2 pages. Of course, I need to continue doing that through. Now, step 5 is where I'm at now, is I'm gonna go and start creating my copy. So here's some amazing resources for you. If you're feeling overwhelmed right now, listen, it's normal. You're probably gonna feel that way for the first couple times, but there's 2 fantastic resources I put together for you. So one, if you want to learn how to become a top-notch designer, and the better your funnels look, the better they're going to convert. So if you want to become a top-notch funnel designer and you just want your stuff to look, first class, I've included a link below that will take you to an amazing course that will teach you how to make every funnel you touch just look absolutely stunning, okay? And then the second button I've put right below the video is if you just want my team to do it for you. Now, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't still learn how to do this on your own, but if you're looking to get started as quickly as possible, with the least amount of headache as possible, just to get started so you can get some commissions coming in, then I encourage you to go and click the button below, and just have my team do the first one for you. And so that way you can get started. And then when that one's working and making commissions for, then you'll have time to go and learn how to design and do all this on your own. So, all right, until tomorrow, the next video, get busy, find your funnel, start going through this process, or just click the button below and have my team do it for you. All right, thanks guys.